In this video, we're going to go over the Got It number 2 in lesson 11.3, and it's about interior angles of a triangle. Okay, the sum of the measures inside of a triangle is 180 degrees. Here the question asks us, what are the measures of the angles of triangle BPF? Okay, so they don't give the measures of all of the angles here. They don't really give us, they give us some information. We know that angle B is x plus 5 degrees, angle F is x minus 3 degrees, and we know that P is x minus 2 degrees, but they don't give us any like specific degrees, like angle 3 is 33 degrees, angle B is 33 degrees, right? So we have to figure out what the measures of each of those angles are by solving for x first. So we do know that the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle F plus the measure of angle P equals 180 degrees. We do know that. Okay, so if we take each of these angles here, angle B is, we know, x plus 5 degrees. And if you add it to angle F, which is x minus 3 degrees, this should be 180 degrees, guys. I forgot to put the degree symbol. It's the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle of F plus the measure of angle P equals 180 degrees. And then if you add, right, the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle F, which we said is x minus 3, plus the measure of angle P, they gave us the information is x minus 2, right? It equals 180. And we do know that. All right, now, since all of these, at the beginning of all of these parentheses, there's a plus sign, then we can get rid of the parentheses. We have x plus 5 plus x minus 3 plus x minus 2 equals 180. All right. Now, here's the part where we are going to combine like terms to start solving for x. All right, we have 3 x terms here. We have an x plus x, keep the sign in front of the term, that's why there's a plus in front of it, plus x. Well, if you have 3 x's, right, it's 3x. Then you're going to combine your numbers. Let's box off the numbers. We have a plus 5, a minus 3, and then a minus 2. Well, 5 minus 3 is 2, and then minus another 2 is 0. So the numbers add up to be 0. So now we have 3x plus 0 equals 180. So we have 3x equals 180. Divide by 3 on both sides to get x by itself. And now we know that x equals 60. That's really important information to help us figure out the measures of each of the angles. Okay, so meaning we can plug in, we know that B is x plus 5, so we're going to plug in 60 for the x. Here we know F is x minus 3, so we're going to plug in 60 for x. And then here we know that P, the measure of angle P, is x minus 2, so we just figured out that x equals 60, so we're going to plug in there. Okay, so now let's figure out the measures of each of the angles by plugging in the x into our angle. So the measure of angle B we know is x plus 5. That's the given information. B is x plus 5. So we now know that x is 60, so let's plug it in. So we have the measure of angle B is 60 plus 5, which equals 65 degrees. All right, so the measure of angle B we figured out is 65 degrees. All right, then we have the measure of angle P, we know they gave us is x minus 2. And when you plug in, we found out that x equals 60. When you plug in 60 for x, 60 minus 2, it equals 58 degrees. All right, so we just figured out that the measure of angle P is 58 degrees. All right, and lastly, we have to figure out the measure of angle F. When we know that the measure of angle F is x minus 3 degrees, so we know that we found out that x equals 60, so let's plug in 60 for x, so it's 60 minus 3, and that equals 57 degrees. So we just figured out that angle F is 57 degrees. All right, if we were to show our check here, okay, what basically we would be saying is if we took the measures of all of our angles inside of the triangle, all three of them, 65 plus 57 plus 58, 65 plus 57, this is the check, plus 58, it should equal 180. All right, and it is true that when you add up these three angles, it does equal 180. Both sides of the equation are 180, so it checks, it works. Okay, now that you have finished the got it number 2, make sure you have the correct work, and then you can begin the classwork for today, 11.3 classwork.